Hello and welcome to the Daily for Sunday, the 27th of August 2023, and Monday, 28th of August 2023, Bank Holiday Monday. Because of that, I decided to double up the videos because not a lot of stories out today. I think a lot of the people who generate the content are taking the day off like a normal person and not doing any work. So here we go. This is from the other day, of course. 4 takeaways from Millwall's 1-0 win over Stoke. Nisbet-Bradshaw partnership clicks as tactical change pays off. This is from londonnewsonline.co.uk, the South London Press's online website. Millwall ended a run of 3 consecutive defeats in all competitions with a 1-0 win over Stoke City on Saturday afternoon. Kevin Nisbet's first goal for the club was enough for all 3 points and handed Gary Rowett outside a second victory of the season and a first home win since April. Here are Alex Grace's 4 takeaways from the game. A much needed win. A victory was the only acceptable result in SC16 on Saturday. The win at Middlesbrough on the opening day seemed a long time ago. 2 league performances since then have not filled the fans with confidence. If you add in the disaster against Reading, then this was very overdue. The scenes at the end of the game at Norwich meant a big response was needed. Last week's performance at Carrow Road was passive. This was the polar opposite. This was the Millwall side that we've got used to over the years, on the front foot, taking a game to the opposition. Stoke started the better of the two sides in the opening 10 minutes, but after that Millwall took over. There was concern that the crowd would turn if the performance was lacking, but the majority of the 15,000 in attendance roared on their side after they saw the dedication and the effort their team were putting in. The scenes at the end when Stoke were piling on the pressure were reminiscent of some of those games last season where everything was put on the line to save the points, blood, sweat and tears. You don't have to be the best player in the world to play for Millwall, but you need to have your heart and passion, something that returned on Saturday. Winless home run ended. Mill's home form has always been so strong. The Den has always been a very hard place to come and play football. It has a fear factor. Coming to SC16 is classed as one of the hardest away days for any team. However, recently that has not been the case. Victory over the Potters was the first time the Lions tasted victory on their home patch since April the 15th, a 2-0 win over Preston. Since then, Birmingham, Blackburn and Bristol City have all come and taken maximum points. First time that has happened in Rowett's Mill tenure. First time what's happened? Those 3 teams have come taken, or what you mean we've lost 3 in a row at home? What are you talking about? A win and a clean sheet is a perfect way to end that spell and get the fans back on side. Leeds are the next visitors to SC16, ending the poor run before their visit was important. Nisbet off the mark. In an interview recently, the former Hib striker told the South London Press that he wasn't worried about his slow start in terms of goal return, and that has been evident. He's not looked under stress at any point so far. He is a striker that if the opportunity is presented to him, he will take it and will punish the opposition should they be so kind. We saw in pre-season the type of goals he can score and how effective he plays with a partner up front. That was evident on Saturday afternoon. Now he's off the mark. Hopefully the goals will begin to flow to the Scottish international. Lions need this to be the case, as scoring goals has proved to be hard so far this campaign, with just 3 scored in 5 games in all competitions. He and Tom Bradshaw worked very well together. Their link-up play and ability to find each other can only be a good thing for Millwall going forward. You know what you're going to get with Bradshaw. Mill fans love his energy and passion for the club, and having both of them playing together will only help the goal return. A tweak to the formation. Something had to change after Norwich. The back 3 lacked pace. Jake Cooper, Sean Hutchinson and Murray Wallace have been great servants to Millwall, but in this formation, the 3 of them playing together is a challenge. All 3 are lacking pace, and this has caused issues. This is why the wing-backs have not had that freedom to get forward. The addition of Ryan Leonard on the right side of the back 3 made a big difference. He has the pace and is able to react quickly if needed, having had the experience of playing as a wing-back. The arrival of Brooke Norton-Cuffy also aided Millwall's cause. To play with a back 5, you need to have centre-backs that can be mobile and wing-backs that can have the licence to get forward and not allow the midfield to get overloaded. This was done to perfection on Saturday. Repeat this most weeks and the Lions will win more than what they lose. And there are your 4 takeaways from the South London Press, a piece that they do every week, generally on Sunday. Here we go with some pictures. Brian Tonkses' pictures from also londonnewsonline.co.uk. Picture gallery for Millwall's 1-0 win over Stoke. There you go. Beautiful picture of the rain just hanging in midair there, as well as a Domu Umaku. Kevin Nisbet's first half goal, blah blah blah, we know all about that. Here are the pictures. Sexy one there of Ryan Leonard. No homo. Brooke Norton Cuffy, his hair flying. That's the goal. Pretty sure that's the goal there. Joe Bryan. Keeper. Gary Rowett pointing somewhere. The end of the game. So they're not in order, it's all of it. Yeah. Kevin Nisbet there after scoring, and that's it. There you go. There's the pictures from the game. Moving on to some post-match comments now. I think the next 4 are post-match comments, so get ready for this. This is from southernnews.co.uk. Millwall boss on the importance of completely focused Jake Cooper after defenders signed a new deal. The 28-year-old has been a big part of the Lions' defence over a number of years. Gary Rowett believes Jake Cooper is now completely focused after getting his contract talks out of the way. The Millwall manager was full of praise for the defender after his brilliant performance across the back line helped the Lions beat Stoke City 1-0 yesterday. His dominant showing came after he signed a new contract at the Den on Friday. And Rowett believes the ongoing negotiations may have affected Cooper's focus before. The Millwall boss said, "I thought it was immense. I think most players doesn't think it does. I think it contract talks and stuff does detract a little bit from their performance. It does detract a little bit from their focus, but I think it's impossible not to. There's been a lot of speculation this transfer window on the likes of Zion, the likes of Coops. And of course you can't stop that. You can't stop 3-4 stories, however true they are, or not. You can't stop it. So it's nice to put that to bed, because that stops it. I think it was really important that one of the big players for us, in more ways than one, but a big player for us is now completely focused and hasn't got anything else to think about other than putting big performances in." Rowett also reflected on Fleming's afternoon after the midfielder produced arguably his most convincing performance so far this season. The Millwall boss added, "I thought Zaha was better as well today. I thought he looked a little bit more energetic. He showed some nice moments, some nice touches. And there's a lot more to come from him, but of course he's another one that will be nice for him to still be here when the window shuts." Indeed, indeed, indeed. On Friday. Yes, Friday night. And we've got a game on Saturday, so who's going to be playing? Who's going to still be here? So moving on to this from londonnewsonline.co.uk. I think it's basically the same thing. I haven't checked it. Yeah, it basically is. Yeah, it's exactly the same. My apologies. Moving on. This is from southwarknews.co.uk. Millwall boss explains tactical switch involving Ryan Leonard for Stoke City win. Gary Rowett believed Ryan Leonard made a big difference after he started his first league game of the season in the 1-0 win over Stoke City. Kevin Nisbet scored a well-taken effort in the first half to give Millwall the lead, and despite the best efforts of the Potters, the Lions held victory. The lineup featured a couple of changes from what had been the norm this season, with debutant Brooke Norton Cuffy making his first appearance at right wing back, while Leonard came into the back line to play alongside Hutch and Cooper. Leonard has been called upon to play in a number of positions during his time at Millwall and has impressed fans with his outings in defence despite primarily being a central midfielder. Rowett said it was the 31-year-old's natural ability to take the ball forward which warranted his inclusion, but insisted the man he replaced, Murray Wallace, had done nothing wrong. The Lions boss said, "Well, I think Lenny helped us a little bit. It's a difficult one on Muzza because I don't think Muzza deserved to be out of the team. He's been a fantastic player for so long. But I think Lenny in that back three just gave the natural ability to step forward and make something happen, and I thought it made a big difference." Rowett also reflected on his strike force with Nisbet and Tom Bradshaw starting together for the first time. He added, "I think if you look at the first game at Middlesbrough, Nisbet would have been the first one to say he had a couple of big chances. And whilst he would have been pleased to have been on the right end of those chances, he obviously would have been disappointed he didn't finish them. And then for a couple of games, I think if you are forwards, you've been very limited in terms of what you had to work with. It's like anything, isn't it? You've got to give forward players those opportunities, whether that's just balls in the box, whether that's balls that are dropping in the box. Just something to anticipate and get on the end of. We spoke a lot about putting balls into their strength, which is into space for them to chase and run and harry into feet. And I thought Bradder's build-up play and link-up play was very good today. Yep. So moving on to the last post-match comment story, which again maybe be. He's talking about Murray Wallace here. No, there's a couple of different lines, but I think some of it might be the same. So I said to the players after the game, I would say congratulations for the character we show, but I think as a group we expect that every week, explained Murray. We expect those type of performances every week from our senior players. Coops was excellent, the back three and Sav were excellent in the game, which really suited him. He's brilliant at competing, and those balls that drop, those scrappy ones, he ends up coming out with. Lenny helped us a little bit. It was a difficult one, was it? Because I don't think he really deserved to be out of the team. He's been such a fantastic player for so long, but Lenny gives us that little bit of natural ability to step forward and make something happen. One of the sides, he made a big difference. There were a lot of big performances, but do I think we can do better? Yeah, I don't think we can. Do I think we can improve? Yeah. Just like I didn't get carried away last week, I'm not going to get carried away this week. We've got another big game coming up before the international break. Indeed. So we've got the game, and then we've got international squads being announced this week, which may feature Bradshaw, Nisbet, the goalkeeper Sarkic, and maybe Imaku. He might get called up to the big boys for the Irish team. Because as Millwall fans, we can see and we're all impressed with what he's done. So maybe the Irish manager is as well, because I think he's under a bit of pressure. And to have someone like a Marco come into the team with that pace and that ability to run and take people on might be just what they need. So we'll see this week as the squads get announced. I've got Saville as well, maybe Bradshaw, I don't know. So there you go. Yeah. So let's have a look now. We're going to go and move on to the boring bit of the video. Obviously, it's time for the stats. If you're not sticking around, thank you for watching. If you are, let's go. This is from whoscored.com. If you look on the right hand side, you can see the top performers in terms of rating, total shots, tackles, and dribbles. And Zion Fleming comes out as a star man despite not being on the pitch for the whole game, and despite not being the one that scored the goal. 8.1. So he's back, baby. He's back. He's got over not moving to Burnley. I don't know why it took him so long. Someone should have took him around and showed him Burnley, and then he might have been a bit happier about it. But yeah, he had the most shots. He had 6, 2 of them the free kicks. They had to make more tackles. And Zion Fleming, Saville, and Imaku had the most dribbles, and Imaku was a sub for us. So again, Imaku coming on and being productive. If we move back into the middle, Millwall will create a high number of chances related to the possession or effective creating goal scoring opportunities from set pieces, but we lost possession often. We attacked through the middle. We had a high shot frequency when in possession. We favoured crossing the ball and we favoured long balls. And Stoke were poor at finishing, were aggressive, gave away a lot of free kicks around the box, were caught offside often. They favoured long shots and dominated possession. So yes, the main one there that helped us was Stoke were poor at finishing. Here are the attempts: 17 to 19, 17 for Millwall, 19 for them. 4 to 17 open play, 13 to 2 set piece. So 13 of our attempts on goal came from set pieces. That is outstanding number. Incredible number. Having us scored 1, that's a 5% conversion rate, which is not the best, to be honest here. Here we go. We are pretty much spread in terms of where we're attacking with the ball. They slightly favoured the left hand side. I don't know if they thought the guy being new, Norton Cuffy, that he could be got because he didn't really train with the team that much. I don't know. Shot directions, if it loads. Yes, it does. Here we go. Shot zones. There you go. So 65% in the 18-yard box, 35% outside of the box, none in the 6-yard box. Action zones. Player positions, always an interesting one. So here we go. So you can see there, number 8, I believe, is Ryan Leonard. I don't have a team sheet in front of me. I believe that's Ryan Leonard. So he's pushing up, which then gives no. Is 8 Billy? 8 is Billy Mitchell, isn't it? 18 is Ryan Leonard. 18 is Ryan Leonard. So yeah, but still Ryan Leonard playing quite far forward. Hutch is sitting back playing the sweeper role, probably trying to mop up their number 7. So 8 is Billy Mitchell, 23 is Saville, 10 is Iron Fleming, 7 is Nisbet, 9 is Bradshaw. So the 3 of them all basically playing with each other. Yeah, getting it done. 17, Cuffy, bombing forward. Obviously he's got more pace than Brian, so he would try and bomb forward. Oh, maybe that's why they were attacking down the left-hand side. It was Norton Cuffy bombing forward, leaving gaps behind him, which Ryan Leonard filled. That would explain that. And Saville doing a lot of attacking stuff as well. So yeah, so there we go. There's the overall picture. Let's get into a bit more detail, and then we'll go on to more detail. Serial of match events of Saville getting the early booking and managed to play through the rest of the game. He didn't get subbed off, so fair play to him for not getting sent off. And then they get the 3 yellow cards. Referee was a bit of a, you know what, wasn't he? Not the best. Certainly not the best. And they made the changes at half time. They made 4 changes. The manager wasn't happy. And certainly not happy at all. He didn't wait for the hour mark. Didn't wait for 75 minutes. He made the changes right away. He didn't say, okay, right, if I bring them in to the dressing room at half time and if I talk to them, my words will be magical. Now suddenly transform and play well. He thought, this guy's not having a bad day. They're not getting it done. Time for them to come off, and we'll bring the subs on. And the players on the bench might be a bit pissed off that they're on the bench. They might have the want and desire to show why they should not be on the bench for the next game. I think that's how it's supposed to work, isn't it? So here we go. These are the player ratings according to this website. If you look at the top left and top right, you see by the club badge, you see the average player rating for Millwall 6.87 and for Stoke 6.55. So a better team basically was Millwall. As we've seen, Starman, Zion Fleming. I haven't brought it up, but that got him a place in the Championship Team of the Week. That number, one of the best players in the league in this match day. What else have we got? We've got Saville 7.6, Hutch 7.7. Ryan Leonard, everyone's praising Ryan Leonard, only a 7.2. We've got Nisbet 7.3. But pretty much everyone doing well, 7s or above, except for from the starting players Bradshaw and Norton Cuffy. So there's that. Best player according to for Stoke, Wilmot or Stevens, but actually the subs got the higher score. Stoke were better in the second half. Actually, let's have a look at that now before we get into it. So obviously, it's tale of 2 halves. Millwall kind of dominated the first half, and we basically defended for our lives in the second half and managed to hold on. So let's have a look and see, because we can do that on this page. So let's have a look at the first half first. If we drag this back, this line can drag it back to half time. That gives us the first half. So if we go back up to the player ratings, you can see 6.58 for Millwall, 6.16 for Stoke. So a lot better than them in that first half. You can see our goalkeeper's not had much to do. He's the lowest rated player with 6.1, with a number of others. Leonard 6.1, didn't really have much to do. For us, it's Fleming and Nisbet and Saville who got the higher marks. And in the second half, when the defenders have to defend, then they get their marks up. And you can see for Stoke, Not much going on there. Not good at all for them. So now if we switch it and show the scores for the second half, where are we going? We'll take it there. And we go up here. You can see 6.34 for Stoke, 6.31 for Millwall. So it's completely turned around. They're actually the better side, just nudging it. A couple of their players have got 7s. And a couple of Millwall players got 7s. This is just for the half. The goalkeeper's obviously had stuff to do. More on that later. His score's gone up. So there you go. So let's go back and look at the whole game again. If we pull this all up, and let's have a look at who did what. The total shot 17 to 19. Here you go. Fleming with 6 shots. He didn't score though, did he? He was close with one of the free kicks. Obviously, their goalkeeper had an outstanding game. I thought he saved. He made a very important saves, keeping them in the game, which they could have nicked it at the end. Well, not nicked it, but at least taken a point. With that effort right at the end. But Fleming's 6 shots. How many of them were on target? These are not on target. It's just how many shots they had. Nisbet, 1 shot, 1 goal. That's it. That's what we're talking about. If you get that chance, you've got to take it. And we not only did he get it, he made it himself. The ball come past him. He touched it with his left foot, took it back towards his right foot, and just passed it into the corner of the goal, which is what you probably needed to do against this keeper, Travers, who we tried to sign, because if you were hitting a conventional shot at him, he was all over it. But you can see here, look, Cooper, Bryan, Saville, basically everyone had a shot except for the keeper, Hutch and Mitchell. For Millwall, possession-wise, 33% to 66. Okay, and this time, normally it's Billy Mitchell who's got the most time on the ball. It's Billy Mitchell and Saville, with basically 4% each. Pass success percentage, 56 to 75. So, yeah, some of these long balls not really working for Millwall, are they? Fleming taking the crown, 81% pass success percentage. Although he wasn't on the pitch for the whole game, so in terms of players that are on the pitch for the whole game, again, you've got to look back to Billy Mitchell with his pass success percentage. Dribbles, 12 to 10. And here we go. It wasn't the wide players doing all the dribbles. Saville and Fleming, the old senior pros. Well, Fleming's not really a senior pro. He's like 24, 25. Saville certainly a senior pro. The aerials one. That was an aerial game, wasn't it? 30 to 33. 63 aerials in the whole game. Jesus. Everyone for Millwall winning an aerial except for the keeper, which is worrying. He doesn't like coming out for crosses, does he? He probably got told not to after that one the other day against Norwich. So that's probably a lot of people digging him out for not coming out for the crosses, but he probably got told to get the fuck back in the goal. But there needs to be a middle ground. Maybe he doesn't have the mind to judge whether he should come out or not. So I guess they just err on the side of caution and say not, stay there. But Leonard with 5 aerials, 1. Saville with 4. And for them it's Wilmot and McNally with 8 each, and Wesley with 5. Tackles 14 to 21. Interesting. So we didn't actually tackle them as much as they tackled us. Corners 6 to 7. These are the players who won the corners, not the ones who took them. Dispossessed 12 to 9. So having the ball taken off of you. Bradshaw with 3 probably explains his low score, and Namaku with 4. Okay, so let's move on to this and see. For one, I want to see how many of Zion Fleming's shots were on target. Half. Okay, that's not bad. He probably should have scored one of them, but like I said, he was up against a really good goalkeeper, which we tried to sign, didn't. So 6 shots, 3 on target. Jay Cooper 2 and 1, Saville 2 and 0. and you've got all these other players with no one shot and none on target, and you've got Nisbet 1 on 1. So how many shots? So we had 17 shots. How many were actually on target? Only 4. Again, that's not the best, is it? That's not the best. Got to try and get a bit better at that. I've said before on here, it really should be half each time. If you're a quality team, so like if you have 10 shots, you should have 5 on target, and then you should get that 1 goal. Each time it should be going down by half. Well, I guess that would be 2 goals, but you know what I mean. That would be like a class effort, very good effort to get 10 shots, 5 on target, 2 goals. That would be the premium. You can't really get better than that. If you do, it's generally luck, or you're playing against a worse team than you. Like we did do well when we played a lower league team. I can't remember, it was in one of the FA Cups. But yeah, generally you're looking for half each time. There's probably some kind of mathematical name for that, exponential, some bullshit reduction or whatever it's called, but I don't know what it is. So let's have a look and see actually how their goalkeeper wasn't their best player. It was actually 3 of the subs were their best players. The goalkeeper wasn't, although he did make a fair few saves. So what are we looking at now? Let's look at ratings for Mill. Actually, we've seen so Fleming 8.12. He got the assist, and he had the most shots. So I think that this website favours shots because that's kind of bumping his score up. Although he did get the highest pass accuracy as well, so there is that. So that's obviously the more you do well, the better your score is going to be. And then we've got Hutch, and then we've got Saville, Joe Bryan, Jay Cooper, Nisbet number 6, and he's on the pitch for 67 minutes. Ryan Leonard 7.16, and then we're dropping down to high 6s, and then we go down to obviously the players who came on right at the end. Bradshaw 6.04. Okay. Brooke Norton Cuffy 6.44. Okay. Let's move on to offsides. The new guy. Okay. Unscheduled touches, poor ball control. The new guy, Bradshaw, Nisbet. It's always the forwards who do that kind of thing because they're under pressure. They're getting doubled up or tripled up on, and they just kind of make mistakes trying to get round players. It is what it is. You can't really. You got to do what you got to do, and that's why you got to pass it to other people. So defensive work. Who did what? The most tackles. Joe Bryan with 3. So Joe Bryan being praised for his forward work, his passing, his ability to pick out and pass. Got the most tackles in that game, 3. Then it's Hutch, Lennon, and Billy Mitchell. Interceptions, the most. Again, Joe Bryan, but alongside with Saville and Cooper. And Hutch with 2. And then Leonard with 1. So only 5 for interceptions. Clearances, George Saville with 3. Cooper with 3. The goalkeeper with 3. Not bad. And then Joe Bryan with 2, Hutch with 2, Leonard with 2. Block shots, so 4, 5, 6 block shots. So they had a lot of shots. We blocked 6. I think the keeper saved 2. Actually, let's have a look at that. So let's have a look at and see how many shots they had on target. So they've had, what was it, 19 shots. They had 2 shots on target. 19, so that's worse finishing than us. 19 shots on target, 19 shots, 2 on target, and 0 goals. So it probably would have been a bit harsh on us had they scored that goal and equalised with only 2 shots on target. But here's the thing: if George Long was in goal, what do you think? You think they would have scored? That one that Sarkic saved at the end? They may well have done. They probably would have. No. I think that's how it goes. Let's get back up here and have a look at the passing. The total passes, Billy Mitchell the most, 33, then Leonard then the goalkeeper, then Saville, then Cooper, then Hutch. That's not many passes for us. That's quite a low number of passes for our top passer to have 33. The accuracy on that is 78.8, which is up there. But then you got Zion Fleming. As I said, we saw Zion Fleming's 81% accuracy, but that was only off of 21 passes. So you probably got to say Billy Mitchell again there with being the most accurate. In terms of crosses and accurate crosses, so Joe Bryan 8 and 3, 4 and 1 for Saville, 2 and 0 for the new guy, 1 and 1 for Billy Mitchell. Long balls and accurate long balls. Goalkeeper, again, not the best, is it? He's not really. He's got Bradshaw and Nisbet to aim at. So 28 and 5 for long balls, accurate long balls. That's not the best. So he had 29 passes. He had 1 short pass and 28 long passes. He's got a passing accuracy of 20.7, which is worse than Bart. So it looks like he's been brought in for his shot-stopping abilities, not really his pass. So he's not really an upgrade on long. He's an upgrade on Bart. So we abandoned the, or was that just an excuse to bring Long in? He wanted to drop Bart. He just had to find an excuse to do it in a kind way. We saw Bart against Reading wasn't the best, was he? Ryan Leonard 9 and 1, Joe Bryan 8 and 1, George Saville quite good, 4 and 2, Nisbet 3 and 2. So yeah, and it goes down. So there we go. There's that. We're going to end by going even more autistic and looking at deep dive into the numbers from this website called fbref.com, which I'm using new for this season. Here's the fouls, corners, crosses, touches. So you can see Millwall had 434 touches, Stoke had 682. Which goes to show it's not what you do with the ball, it's not how many times you touch it, it's what you do with it counts. Clearances 19 each, aerials 130 to 32. Interceptions 12 to 10, tackles 14 to 21. So numbers pretty similar to the last website, not exactly the same, quite a little bit off. The last website said 30 to 33 aerials one, so they missed one there, or they didn't count it as an aerial one. What's going on? Maybe it needs to be over a certain height. Goal kicks 9 to 9, offsides 1 to 3, throw-ins 20 to 24. Obviously, our goal coming from a throw-in. Long balls 87 to 95. So they actually had more long balls than us, but they had more touches of the ball and passes than us. So there you go with that. And here's all the stats for Millwall. Pause it and have a look if you want. It's kind of interesting if you know where to look. I don't really know where to look right now. This is new to me. So what we do here, though, is we can get XG by player. And you can see Zion Fleming with his 6 shots, 3 of which were on target. His XG is 0.4, so that was enough to get half a goal, but he didn't get half a goal. Nisbet with his 0.1, so clinical Nisbet, Kevin Nisbet, the professional Scottish international striker, has an XG of 0.1 and gets the goal. We've got George Saville with 0.2. So Nisbet didn't even have the best XG on the pitch. He was the joint third with Tom Bradshaw. In terms of SCA, what's SCA? Shot creating action. Basically, you assist, but they do an assist and then a pre-assist. So if you pass it to someone and then they have they cross it to someone who shoots, that's an SCA. And there's 2 of them per shot. So you can see who's doing the magic, making things happen. We've got Zion Fleming 9, so he's got a goal creating action. He created the goal. He passed it to the flick on header, and we've got Ryan Leonard with the goal creating action as well, because the throw-in. So there's 2 of them: throw on, flick on. So there's 2 in the column for GCA. But if you go into shot creating action, so the players who set up shots and whatnot, or had shots themselves, Leonard with 3, Cooper with 3, George Saville with 8, Zion Fleming with 9. So it's literally Fleming and Saville making things happen in that game. Passes, you can see here. Carries, yep, and take-ons, basically dribbling. So you can see, look at Domo Maku, he comes on. 2 attempts at dribbling, 2 successful. He's only on the pitch for 23 minutes. He had 1 shot, 5 touches, 1 tackle, 1 shot creating action, 1 pass completed, 6 carries of the ball, 2 dribbles, which were both successful. So that's what you got. You come on as a sub. You got 20 minutes on the pitch. That's production. That's doing something. That's making things happen. Again, with this website, what we can do, there's all of these that I haven't got used to yet. So you can see the passing here, short passing, medium, long, all kinds of shit. Again, this is fbref.com, the Millwall page and match report. Corner kicks, in swinging, out swinging, straight, outcomes, passes completed, passes offside, blocks, passes blocked. So pass types, live, dead ball. Who took the dead balls? Joe Bryan with his sweet left foot. Star kick, obviously goal kicks and offsides and stuff. Ryan Lender with 9, so it looks like Joe Bryan on one side, Ryan Lender on the other, George Savile with a few. Free kicks, through balls, switches, crosses, throw-ins taken. Who took the throw-ins? Joe Bryan with 9, Ryan Lender with 9. Ryan Leonard with his. So not using Ryan Leonard basically as, if we go back and see, basically using Ryan Leonard as a right wing back and using a new guy as kind of a right winger, basically. So Leonard was the right wing back, and the new guy was pushed up further forward as a outside right. With Leonard taking the throw-ins and the free kicks, it looks like, on that side. So there you go. Defensive actions, tackles 1, tackles in the defensive third, in the middle third, in the attacking third. All kinds of shit you can get from this website. All kinds, loads of stuff. Blocks, shots blocked, passes blocked. So you can look and see what kind of blocks. What was the block? How good was the block? Interceptions. A tackle and an interception. So when you tackle someone and take the ball, who did that? Joe Bryan. 6 times he did that. Sean Hutchinson 4 times he did that. Ryan Lenders 3 times he did that. Clearances, errors, mistakes leading to an opposition's shot. 0. Absolute 0. Although, if you watch the highlights back, one thing that stood out for me was right at the end. Savile and I think Hutch as well, balling at Billy Mitchell because he's ball watching and he doesn't get close to the guy. He's kind of stand with his hands by his side so he doesn't get the handball. And when the shot comes in, he just twists his back. Like, you've got to charge it down. You've got to go get closer. But here's the thing: if you rush too far forward, then the player just drop his shoulder and get past you, and he's got some space to take a shot anyway. You kind of need to go forward, but then stop, and then go forward again once he stops. There's a bit of an art to it, so it's not the best. Challenges. So in terms of tackles attempted, dribbles. Some says when number of dribblers tackled. So someone's dribbling at Joe Bryan. He's tackled him twice, but he had 6 attempts. So 4 of them got past him. So he tackled 2 of them. But you can see here, so Norton Cuffley was 50-50. Ado Maku was 50-50 in defensive work. In terms of people trying to dribble past him. And then Ryan Lenders was 100%. There was only 1-on-1. So, like I said, you've got all kinds of stats here. It goes even deeper into it. There's all kinds of things. I don't know what you can see when you actually look at a game like this. There's a lot going on here, isn't it? Touches of the ball, touches, how many touches and where they were on the pitch. Attacking, what was that? Touches in the penalty area. Bradshaw 7, Fleming 5. This is in the opposition's penalty area. Jay Cooper 6. Obviously, he had that header first. He nearly scored. Take-ons, like we've seen with Domir Maku. So it gives you a percentage. Kevin Nisbet, 1-on-1, 100%. Fleming, 57.1%. Successful dribbles past someone. George Saville, 75%. So there you go. Lot of stuff. Not only that, but distance. Carries of the ball. Who brought the ball forwards? The new guy. The wingers. Down the wings. Norton Cuffley, 101 yards. Joe Bryan, 117 yards. Fleming, 84 yards. Billy Mitchell, 85 yards. The goalkeeper, 117 yards. And that's kind of weird. I don't think that's not kicks though. That's just carrying the ball, dribbling the ball. I guess maybe if Stoke was sitting back, might have been that. I don't know. Receiving. What's this about? Passes received. Progressive passes received. Okay, that's. No, I think we're getting a bit foggy now. I'm not really sure what's going on. Aerial duels, won and lost. Oh, so here we go. Look, this is the kicking. This is the kicking. The goalkeeper kicking it up to Tom Bradshaw. We can see here. Aerial duels that Tom Bradshaw had that he won and lost. 12 aerial duels that he lost, 2 that he won. I think we need a target man, don't we? Even if to bring on in the end of the game or someone who can jump. Tim Cahill wasn't the tallest, but he knew how to jump like a kangaroo, wasn't he? So maybe a short guy who can jump. But 2 and 12, so that's where all the goal kicks were going, bombing towards Tom Bradshaw. He was acting as the target man. So obviously he set up the goal last week at Norwich with his head, heading it down to Domir Maku, who took it on. But to lose 12 aerial duels, oof, that's not the best, is it? That probably explains his low score on that other website, then, doesn't it? Because that's not good at all. And that explains the goalkeeper's shit pass success percentage. But there you go. That's kind of crazy. But even Cooper, to be fair, is 3 and 3. So Cooper's 50-50. George Saville's 50-50. So there you go. Let's on this website as well. Before we leave, if you're still watching, God bless you. If you're asleep, wake up. So you can check the goalkeeper. What's he done? Shots on target against SOTA 2, saves 2. That's what makes the difference. If you have a save to make, you need to make it, George Long. You need to make it. It's tough, but you got to make the saves when you got to make them. That's the difference between a good goalkeeper and a bad goalkeeper. You got to do what you got to do when you need to do it, and that's save the ball. And here we go. Shots on target 2, saves 2, a save percentage of 100%. Bosch won the game. He won the game. It was him. It wasn't Kevin Nisbet scoring. It was him. He won the game. 0.7 XG on him, and he saved it. He saved Millwall 0.7 goals in that game. That's what he did there. He saved 0.7 of a goal. So there you go. But here we go. Obviously told to get back on his line. Sweeper. Defensive actions outside penalty area. Only 1. Average distance from the goal line 13.8. And here we go. Crosses. Opposition crosses into penalty area 14. He only stopped 1 of them. But obviously the other players get involved in that as well, Cooper and whatnot. Which is 7.1%. Obviously told don't fucking come for crosses if you're not going to get them. If they're not bread and butter, don't be a hero. And told to get back on his goal line because I think last week he was further out, like 15 yards or whatever, 16 yards. Go and check the video, or you can go on this website and just check. Passes, attempts 20, no throws. He launched 85% of his passes. His average length was 55 yards. He had 9 goal kicks. They were all long, launched, and they were averaging 63 yards up to Tom Bradshaw, who lost the aerial duels. And there you go. Now moving on to I wanted to look at the goalkeeper. So here we go. This goalkeeper that we tried to sign, Mark Travers, shots on target 5, goals against 1. He saved 4, so he had 4 saves that he made, and the XG on him was 0.6. So there you go. He saved 80%. Just that last one, he had more work to do than our goalkeeper, but he just missed that one, and that was the difference. That was the difference. And that's all I wanted to show you, really. Let's go down and see here. These are all the shots that took place. The grey line there is that's the half-time mark. And here you can see SCAs in more detail. Shot creating action 1, shot creating action 2. So if we go to the goal, so 2 is the one that's before 1. So we have Ryan Leonard throwing it to Zion Fleming. This one here. Ryan Leonard throwing it to Zion Fleming, who then gives it to Kevin Nisbet, who scores the goal with his right foot, 16 yards out. The XG was 0.08 before he shot it, and after he shot it based on where the goalkeeper was in the goal. It was 0.42. So there you go. And you can see here, so we have XG and PSXG. So these are the shots on target, because you can't have post-shot XG if the shot's not on target. There you go. They had that chance right at the end. That was saved by the goalkeeper. Burger to Stevens to Vidigal, 90 plus 4 minutes. The XG before the shot was 0.02 because obviously surrounded by players everywhere. 0.63 after the shot. That was better than the chances that Nisbet had. It was saved by the goalkeeper. Bosch. He won us the game there. Sarkic won the game. There you go. Well, it was a team effort. But that's the difference between him and Jules Long. A lot of people not impressed with him yet. But was he like 2 or 3 games in? I mean, he won. You can see, he made a big difference in that game. That save was vital for us to get 3 points in this game. So there you go. This website here, fbref.com, if you want to check it out for yourself. But for now, that is it. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.